everyone, it is me, Dukect here. Well, not live because Skype and TalkShoe decided to be a tag team and screw up everything. Well, like everything else, the show must go on, and the show will probably not be live, so it is recorded. So, congratulations, people. You will have a Dukect Lounge tonight, so don't worry, and everything else will be just fine. So, we are going to be talking about some two interesting subjects here. First up, let's talk about the biggest thing that's happened tonight. The big thing, the big, huge thing in the wrestling world is AJ Styles is your new WWE champion. You know what? That's fine. Some people will say, hey, and you know what? Fine. People are hating on this stuff, but you know what? I honestly think WWE has no plan. I mean, they seem to just doing this thing just for the heck of it at this point. And it is, some would say, to get frustrated, but that's what WWE does. I mean, last time we saw AJ Styles, he was getting his ass kicked by Baron Corbin. And you would think, say, hey, you know what? He needs to get some momentum back before he could challenge like Jinder for the championship. I was thinking maybe he could lead Team SmackDown to a victory at Survivor Series, get some more big wins, get his heat back, and then finally challenge him for the championship at the Royal Rumble. And then see where that goes. Because that would make more logical sense. Instead, they just rushed and blew their load. WWE blows, as always. And they have this match. And it's a good match, don't be wrong. Both guys, good chemistry with each other. The action was really good. Jinder used his size against AJ. And there's actually, I want to see another match with them. And I think that these two have, good chemistry. And I can't wait to see the match again. I'm just frustrated, a little frustrated at this whole, well, we're just like AJ Styles could just a good match. So, bam, there it is. He's a good worker. So you could just put him in a match. And everything, give him a championship, and that's it. I'm like, wrestling is not just about having good or great matches. It also have connection with the audience, characters, that sort of thing. AJ Styles, like, it's going to be AJ Styles versus Nakamura. I'm like, we already seen that. The internet smart's already seen that. Why not we do something interesting, different, or something like that? That's what I would like to see. Have these matches to really do something. I think that would be something better for overall, instead of just rehashing, which people want to see. Jinder Mahal, not Jinder Mahal, but WWE champion AJ Styles going down to take on Nakamura, which is what people at their fantasy booking want. So I'm like, fine. But I think there's more interest in money in having, probably someone else to lead up that charge, someone to actually build themselves up. Someone that actually can be like, okay, we can have someone who can, instead of depending on late 30-year-olds, the 40-year-olds who are just, and such. And then again, this is coming from a dude who says, let's have Bobby Roode beat Jinder Mahal. I'm wacky like that. I don't like, why do him? Because he's like somewhat fresh. I think it would have been somewhat fresh and as TV fresh and such. Jinder might have, but maybe Bobby Roode gets a United States Championship match and such. I think that would be more interesting. And I think probably Bobby Roode's happy that he's actually getting paid, and he's not actually wrestling in front of like 10 people. But we'll get to Impact Wrestling soon enough. Anyway, this thing with AJ Styles and Jinder Mahal, very good match. But I worry about the aftermath. What is going to be aftermath? AJ and Brock would be a great match or whatever. For two former IWGP heavyweight champions fighting. I wish that match could have happened a lot sooner or something like that. Would have been more interesting to build that up instead of just having this rush and build up. You should build these two guys up instead of just having this bait and switch. I think that would have been more of an interesting build if you can do that. If basing that type of thing, because yes, they both won the IWGP titles when they were gone, but they can actually say, hey, you know what? You can say, let's like, you won that title because I wasn't there. You can actually build something like that up has a story there. AJ Styles wants to say he really is from he like that sort of thing. You can build something up, a little nice little story instead of just this rush. It's just rushing and all these type of things. In the W, it's just there's a lot of rushing here, and that to me at the end of the day is not a good thing to actually build up on. It's not a good thing to build these to rush to these matches and everything else. Good matches, yes, but there's no time for the story, no time for things to get bigger and things like that. I want this to actually mean something. Not to say that the win was meaningless. And heck, it got a huge ovation from the crowd. And something that wrestling used to be like the bad guy gets like they're so happy. People are happy that the babyface won a big important match. That is something really good, and I wish wrestling had that. Heroes conquering the villains. This used to be the bedrock of WWE. You had a ton of, like in the 80s and everything else, which, by the way, if you watch 30 for 30, which by the way you should, it's great. It showed that, it's that different type of stuff. Yeah, Hulk Hogan and doing all the stuff like, showed like Hulk Hogan, how he did things, and you saw Ric Flair, how he did things, And to me, I think the WWE is more of that babyface mindset. I mean, we've seen the heel dominate for years and years and years, and it gets tiresome. And they get heat, and people are like, oh, that's so cool. And I think it's that cool villain thing, which is, then become babyfaces, then become lame, and then just the circle continues to go over and over again. But I know this is a long, winded stream of consciousness thing, but this is what the Dukect Lounge is all about, especially when it's not when it's taped. I am really pissed off at this point, about how TalkShoe and Skype screw me over. I'm thinking about actually doing something with Discord and something like that. But then again, I'm not much of a tech guy, so I'm about to look at YouTube videos and see what the work about that, because I would love to do something like that, because with a little bit of our stream, some good stuff with OBS, I think I could do something really fun and exciting and try to make things more of an interesting type of show here, so the next level type of stuff for the Dukect Lounge. If y'all want me to do something like that, kind of like the YouTube Saints, but then again, I'm not technical. I only have one computer screen. A good computer, but I need something. Sorry, I need something really big to do something like this. Couple screens, couple this, that, and the third. I don't think I have that in my budget right now. Just spend the money on the Switch. But you know what? Maybe one day. But then again, it always happens at your odd week. So I'll probably be back on Skype and talk to you in a matter of a couple of days. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Anyway, what else? Back to the point. AJ Styles, the aftermath this will be interesting stuff. What are they going to do with it? I don't know. Is John Cena getting a 7-team championship? Because, you have him coming back to Captain Survivor Series, which is, and go back to the 5th man for SmackDown, which is going to be interesting. I thought he was a free agent, but now he's fighting for SmackDown. The craziness is going on with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Both getting sent back home after the European tour. This is going to be very interesting. What's going to happen with them? Maybe this is all one big storyline, which is I just roll my eyes at this point, because I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. It just seems I'm done with that. I'm just done. The work shoot stuff. If you can't make a good story by yourself, you can't make a good story without using the work shoot thing, just don't make the story at all. Continue to make the story about the wrestlers, about the things and engagement, not this whole pipe bomb bull crap. You know what I'm saying? You feel me, right? It's frustrating. You see the same stuff over and over again. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to take a small musical break. what music we're going to be playing is, let's play a little bit of, let's see. You know what? I'll play a little bit of DuckTales Apollo because I love that song. We'll be right back right after this here, live. Not live, but recorded here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me, Dukect. We're right back right after this. And we are back here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me here on, you can hear this on the recording on iTunes and on TalkShoe.com. Also, you can find this on youtube.com/DukecT, vid.me/DukecT, Freaking Awesome Network. The guys are awesome. And ManicExpression.com. Minds.com. I need to really start putting my stuff there. I keep forgetting. I need to put more stuff on Minds.com and shift more of my presence there because I believe that's where everything else is going to be. Anyway. Let's see. Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling. Now, according to PWInsider.com, which is it is a bit on the nose and such. They basically, let's see, we got Wrestling Inc. as well. Wrestling Inc. This past week, ladies and gentlemen, Impact Wrestling did their Bound for Glory show. I haven't seen the full show. I heard it's pretty much terrible. But I will watch it, and I might do a review of it this Christmas for the Red Ribbon reviewers. If that still is going to happen, I will be doing that as well. But yeah, Impact Wrestling just keeps chugging on even when it's not. Anyway, because supposedly this week there was a supposedly. They were doing tapings. Impact at the same at the Aberdeen Power in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, which replaced the Aberdeen Pavilion and such. Let me see. Supposedly doesn't even have restrooms. I gotta look this up and see if it actually does have like a supposedly does it have like a restroom and such. Let's see. It is it is a very historic fight. It is actually on the National Historic site of Canada. It has sports uses and it has they was the other Senators way back in the day actually played there, and I can see they've been. I'm trying to see if they actually do. Let's see. Do they have? I'm looking. It looks like they have, supposedly, the arena of at the Aberdeen Pavilion over in Canada supposedly didn't have like restrooms, which I doubt. I think it was a little bit of crazy stuff, which some people say, some people didn't. But here's something that really happened. According to Smith Casting. This is from the this thing is dropped down now, but Smith's Casting Agency in Ontario, Canada, has basically posted a Facebook page. It's down, but they said they needed to have background actors. Yes, they were actually paying people. Impact Wrestling was paying people to come to their shows. I'm not making this up. I can put the link in the description. And here it is. It says they're currently hiring paid actors for the following. Must be Ottawa local, non-union only, a non-speaking role. Even though they want to clap and chant or whatever. It says filming dates Tuesday, November 7th, Thursday to November 9th. Time 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pay rate $12.50 an hour for 4 hours work, 50 per day of work. It is anyone like he says. You can only be 16 and above to do this by yourself. But if you're anyone 16 or younger, must have a parent or guardian with them at all times. They say all ages, all ethnicity, bring friends and family. Applicants can work more than one a day, so please mention if you are able to hire for multiple days. Wardrobe, casual clothing, t-shirts, jeans, sweatshirts, weekend casual. It says, here's the kicker here. You may be given signs to hold. You are encouraged to look at wrestlers out on the website, ImpactWrestling.com, and make your own signs. That will be really helpful, and you'll get more face time on television. You will get to sit in the audience and watch thrilling night of wrestling provided to you by Impact. Each day of film will be 4 hours long. Wow. They have to, at this point, and even better. I'm gonna find some pictures at the stuff that happened tonight. Whatever the crowd size, it wasn't that impressive. I'm seriously. They only had stuff I saw looked like 50 people there. 50 people. I don't know how many of them I actually paid. That is just sad. That they have to pay people to show up at your events. Why are you going to pay people to show up at this point? Like, you can't, this is beyond sad at this point. You can't do that to people. They just say, can't do that to fans who have just been patiently waiting and doing this for years, who have been trying to get that number 2, and then just this point. Can you have the good grace to die, Impact? Or whatever you want to call yourself. Can you have the good decency to die out? Because I don't think there's anything. I mean, Anthem. It looks like all this money being wasted. Why are you keeping this thing here? What is your purpose here? What is your end game? Right now, this thing is costing you more money to keep afloat than it's bringing in. At what point do you have to realize, what? This is just costing us way too much money to maintain. We need to cut our losses and move on. I think at this point, it's best for this company to move on. And I think Anthem has to. I think they're going to continue this farce, at least until WWE buys them out next year. At this point, I think 2018 is probably going to be the death knell of this company. I think Anthem helped plug the holes, but right now, what they're being stationed at right now, talent's leaving. Talent's gone. Wrestlers gone. They are just a husk. They were a husk this year. Now they're even more so. It's just this limpering zombie with no bones, and it slides. It's pathetic. I hate to do this to a company and say people they need less work, because it's hard out there. Wrestling is not as popular as it once was, as back in the day, and it sucks because there are people who work their asses off for that company to make sure TNA is, or Impact Wrestling, to be the best places it can be. But man, it is this Fed is no more. It's dead. It's beyond dead at this point, and it's a corpse. And to keep putting money into a corpse is just bad business sense for Anthem. And it sucks, but when you start have to forcibly pay people to come to your events, not force, but if you have to basically beg people so much, you have to pay them to come to your shows. You can't do it on the strength of your wrestlers there. You can't depend on your storylines, talent, or anything else. You have to pay people money to actually go to your shows, your TV tapings. That is a sign of a failed pro wrestling company. And yet somehow people are saying this is the number 2 pro wrestling company in the world. How can you say that? There is they're not even close to number 2. Ring of Honor has more to acclaim than that, than TNA. Or Impact, whatever they want to call themselves. And they're on syndicated television. Figure that one out, people. Syndication was dead, but they somehow continue to get people to go to the arenas. People that care about their shows. And that's the truth right there. If they care about their shows, they care about the wrestlers. And Ring of Honor has never, ever had to pay anyone to go be a fan of their product. Impact Wrestling has to. And that is the most pathetic thing of a long train of pathetic things this company has done. And also they're basically making fans actually build up the ring too. Oh gosh, this company, man. I mean, yeah, I'm not kidding you on that. This company is you know, it's I don't even know what's going on anymore with everything else. My hope is eventually someone is actually going to make this a company a better company. Something comes along. Maybe Billy Corgan can do something with the new NWA brand to bring it to the 21st century. Because our championship and stuff like that deserves to have something a shot again. Here's hoping they can do that. Here's hoping they can. A lot of people, wrestling fans, make fun of Tim Storm, the current NWA champion. But at least I'll say this: at least they give effort and try to raise something up. You know. One day we'll find maybe that number 2 company. Here's hoping that they can, here's hoping them, Ring of Honor, when they can get a big TV contract. My hope one day, if that actually happens, Lucha Underground getting a chance to do season 4. And that's something where people will be happy to see. I just want wrestling to be around, and I don't want wrestling to be around just to be WWE. I don't want it just be everybody signed to NXT. I want wrestling a healthy wrestling business needs competition, and I believe more competition, more wrestling, more people having a chance to watch it and support it, like say a wrestling circus or something like that in online media and such like that. Maybe that is the next way to go. Maybe we can actually do these things. Hopefully, we can find something else, because I don't want a world that we have just WWE and there's nothing else. I don't want that. But that's it. That's just my thing. I don't know. I just want pro wrestling to be something great. I just want something wrestling to be positive, to be something that I could use, look back and watch. I mean, I know. Is it possible when things go to the the 80s and 90s again? Is it possible? I don't know. I just don't know. But hey, one day they'll finally get it. Maybe one day we'll finally get it. Maybe one day we'll finally have a wrestling company that actually cares about the people and actually does that. Maybe one day. But that day is not that day. Oh, by the way, here we are. We got this right here. Got it right here. And I will show the link to you, Impact Wrestling fans. Yeah, Impact basically, supposedly Impact Wrestling fans looking for people in the auto era to help with Impact Zone setup, which is, wow. Is they are actually, and here's the crazy thing, according to the Uproxx article, is that they are basically working with a skeleton crew backstage, and they need to have fans set up the ring for free. You see, this is why I don't watch Impact at all. And I'm really thinking some probably doesn't want me to do a review on Bound for Glory because this company doesn't need any attention sometimes. But man, it frustrates me. It really does. We see a company that squandered so much potential. This is a company that squandered so much potential. It could have been something great. Instead, it's just another failure. A long line of pro wrestling failures. Anyway, that's the show for this evening. Hope you liked it. A little bit down, but hey, you know what? Sometimes it gets a little up, a little bit down. Anyway, thanks so much for listening and watching. This is Dukect here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.